Alright, today what you're gonna do is, we're gonna add on to what we did yesterday and learn some more tricks on solving log equations, okay? Everyone look at this first example. What do you notice on both sides? What do they both have the same? Log base 2. When this occurs, you can cross these two out. You have one of each on each side, so you can divide both sides by log base 2. So if I were to cross these two log base 2's out, what do you have?
Distribute 4.
X minus 1 equals 4. What are we trying to do?
Solve for x.
We're trying to solve for x. So what should you do next?
Add 1.
Add 1.
X equals 5.
X equals 5. Now, what we're trying to do is figure out what x would be so that the left side equals the right side. Let's check our answer. If I were to plug a 5 right here, what is 5 minus 1?
4.
And aren't those identical? Yep. So that is what x would have to be in order for this problem to work. Easy? So everyone got, if you see both of the logs base are the same, you can cross them out. So look at your homework for today. It's on the second page. Look at questions 1 through 10. What do you notice about 1 through 10?
All can be cubed.
So, everyone should be able to do 1 through 10, just like example 1. All you're doing is crossing out the log base. So, show me how to do number 1. Tell me, what would you do? Cross these out. We have 4 minus x equals x plus 8. Now, how do you solve this equation?
And x.
Okay, then what? And then what? Subtract 8. So I'm going to write up here because I'm running out of room. Negative 4 equals 2x, and then what? Divide by 2, x is negative 2. Now what you need to do is check this answer. You want to make sure that this, once you plug negative 2 in here and in here, you do not get a negative number right there. So if x were negative 2, what's negative 2 plus 8?
6.
6, okay, that's good. And what's 4 minus negative 2?
6.
6. So guess what? This is a good answer. So is everyone okay with 1 through 10? All you're going to do is practice crossing these logs out and setting what's inside equal to each other and solve. Now, has anyone found the answers? An answer list?
Yeah.
Okay, on the back, you have an answer list. I want you to show your work and I want you to check your answers. This is a good way to learn, but let's go back to example 2. Example 2. Now we're getting a little more, now we're gonna add something. Now, I'm gonna put my finger over this piece right here. If that wasn't there, you could easily cross these two out, right? And say x minus 1 equals 8 and solve it. But it's not one, you don't have 2, 1 on each side. You have 2 on this side. So what you have to do,
Just add them together.
not add them,
Multiply.
what's the property that says, if we're adding, we learned this in section 7.4.
Multiply.
Very good. How are you gonna condense this side?
Log 10.
Log base 10. So what did we do? We used our properties to condense this side. There are three properties, the product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule. So you're going to apply those three properties in your homework today. So remember, if the bases are the same and you're adding, you condense this. Your job is to get one log on this side so you can do exactly what we did on example 1. You have a 1-to-1, cross them out. Now, the degree of difficulty is right here now. How do you solve this problem? This is prior knowledge that, this is stuff that you should know how to do. I didn't teach this to you, you learned this last year, hopefully. How do you solve this equation? Factor. So you get x squared. What happens to the next two? They cancel out because this is the difference of two perfect squares. Hopefully you recall this stuff. So these two middle terms cancel out. You get x squared minus 1 equals 8. Now, in last year you learned how to take the square root of both sides. What do you do with this minus 1? Add 1.
X equals 30.
Now, if you square root both sides, you get two answers, plus or minus 3. But one of them is extraneous.
The minus one?
The minus 3 one is extraneous. Why? Because if I replace negative 3 here, what is negative 3 plus 1? It's negative 2. Negative 2. Here it's negative 4. Negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Regardless of where you plug it in right here, you're going to generate a negative number here, and you can't take the log of a negative number. If I take the log of negative 2, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to get it says non-real. It's not a real number. So this is called an extraneous answer. The only answer that will work is 3. Now, example 3 is what we did yesterday. We mastered, you guys did awesome on example 3. Do you see a log on both sides? No. So guess what? We don't have the right to cross this log base 2 out. You could only cross anything out if you have a match on the other side. So this one, you have to rewrite it in exponential form. How do you translate this to exponential form?
2 to the 5th power.
2 to the 5th power is x plus 2. What is 2 to the 5th power?
32.
32. And then how would you finish this?
Minus 2. 30 equals
Now, does this work? If I were to plug 30 right here, what is 30 plus 32? 32. So ask yourself, is 2 to the 5th power 32? Yes, it is. So the answer was 30. It's correct. So I want you to flip to the homework. All right, we've established on 1 through 10, you're going to just cross the logs 1 for 1. Number 11 and 12, can you draw a line through here? When I went to go do this worksheet, if I were to add any space on here, this would wrap around. So this is what it is. I wanted to give you guys good practice. But check this 11 out. I want to do it with you.
This is 4.
Okay. Look at the left side. Look at the left side. You need to condense that. How do you condense this?
Log.
Yes, you're going to write log, and you may need to write small, but this is a product. Why is it a product? Because the bases are the same and you're adding. So what I've done is I've condensed this left side.
You can condense the right too. Right?
You can condense the right. Very good. Good observation. You can condense the right. And it's going to be a product again. Now, does this look like 1 through 10?
Yes.
What could I cross out?
The logs.
These log base 2s. What stands remaining is x plus 2 times x plus 1 equals x times x plus 4. Now, this is a challenging quadratic problem. Do you guys remember how to solve this? Factor. Factor the left side and simplify. Factor the right side and simplify. Do you see 1 for 1 again?
Yes.
What can you do with these? Cross them out, they're identical. And how would you finish this off? I would subtract 3x. And what's x? X is 2. Now, if I take a second and plug 2 in here, and 2 in here, and 2 in here, and 2 in here, you will get the left and the right side match. So, 1 through 10, you have 1 to 1. You're going to cross them out and solve. 11, 12, 13, all the way up to 15, actually 16, you're going to use the properties to condense. Number 20, starting from, actually, I'm sorry, up to 18, you're going to use the properties. Then 19, and I kind of wrapped around here, 19, and then 20's up here on this column. 19 through 24 is what we did yesterday. What did we do yesterday? Put it into exponential form. So how would you write 19 in exponential form?
2 to the negative 1 power equals
2 to the negative 1 power equals x plus 5. What is 2 to the negative 1 power?
Number 2,
It's 1/2.
subtract 5.
Subtract 5, and you get negative 4.5 is your answer. And it works, it's okay. Now, your answers are on that the back of the notes. So, do a problem, practice, refer to the answer sheet. If you get it, move on. If you don't get it, there's 3 of us in here that can help you guys. I want you to work the rest of you got about a half hour to get this stuff done. I know there's 24 problems, but there's enough time to finish it.